Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for being the part of Payday Pawn Vlogs. Thanks for watching, liking, comments, and questions. I really appreciate that. Please keep being the active part of this Payday Pawn Vlog YouTube channel. We need your help, and let's have fun together and build this community that matters. You belong here to us, so keep being the part of it. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and share. Take a moment and subscribe. Many people through these videos with the questions, and many of you questioned like how much money you make in the pawn business, and then what are the items that really make a lot of money you make over the time period, stuff like that. So many questions about that. So I'm briefly going to talk about these items and these things and how much money you make in the pawn business. So what I did is, in this video, actually 7 items that make the most money, and these are the items that are kind of like all season. They never change and they will keep making money. So we're going to discuss those items in detail, and hopefully I'm going to answer some questions that you have, like financial part of the pawn business. One thing for sure, you can have any business, and any business that you have, one essential part that the business have to really cover is the financial part. Business has to make money. It has to make money. There is no ifs, there is no buts, there is no questions about that, okay? So why not just know your areas in pawn business and focus on that, and fairly and squarely make plenty of money so you can afford everything you want to afford and keep everybody happy, employees, family, customers. It's a journey between all of us, and everybody's going to be happy. So let's talk about these 7 items and see if you can really get some ideas how we make money in the pawn business. Number 7. And from my own experience in this pawn business for a very long time now, number 7, I will say, is vintage items. That includes the cars, the trucks, old motorcycles, old guitars, musical stuff, some of the old tools, coins, many vintage things. That can be pictures, that can be cards, sports memorabilia, a lot of stuff, a lot of signed items that have been signed by, one time we had this guitar signed by Willie Nelson. It's a country music singer, and that guitar was worth a lot of money. So vintage items, and that's a huge, in the United States, we are blessed, okay, that we have a very rich history of items, people, culture. Everything is so deep, and so many vintage items are available everywhere where you can pay attention to, and you can make a whole lot of money in pawn business. But you must know what to do with them. You must know how to evaluate them or appraise them, and then make the fair deals with the people, because you just want to make sure you make money and your customer also needs to make money. Nobody stays in the dark, okay? Because you have to have these fair business practices. So these are the items, in the vintage area. And this is just briefly, I'm explaining that to you. That can be a whole lot more items, You can write pages and pages of those items. And some of the items I might not know, okay? Many times still, I'll get to see some items that I've never seen before. And that's the beauty of the pawn business. No day is the same day every day. Every day is a different day, because you get to see the large variety of things you might never seen before, and it just shows up there. And some of the products that I've seen, that they show up and you wonder, I've never seen this before. Number 6 on my list is professional tools. And these tools can be big tools, aeronautical, mechanical tools, all these name brand tools. It can be cordless drills and cordless, magnetic drills, and all these expensive tools. They can make a lot of money. I've seen that. And that can be Hilti's and Milwaukee's and DeWalt, and many other things. Cornwell is good. Snap-on is really good. And the whole range of these tools, they make a whole lot of money, And people make good money too, but when they sell them, we pay them very good money for that. And we still make a decent money on them. So number 6 is all these professional tools. They make you a lot of money. And if you can focus that. See, all these items that I'm talking about, one thing I noticed in a lot of pawn shops, many of the pawn shops, they just don't do all these things. They just focus on one thing, maybe gold or maybe just guns. Many of the people, But I've seen in our pawn stores, all the stores, we deal with a variety of things, okay? Variety of the things, including all these items that we're going to discuss today, vintage items and tools and everything. Because pawn shop business is such a business that is so wide, and it can absorb so many things, Sky's the limit in this one, So if you are a pawnbroker or you want to open up a pawn shop, you just want to make sure, you deal with a variety of things, because this becomes your multiple streams of income through these items. And that's where you want to be. We're going to talk about number 5. Number 5 is antique cars, antique motorcycles, antique sports car, the trucks. I mean, I've talked about that briefly in the vintage area, number 7, but I just want to make it number 5, specially dedicated to sports cars, sports trucks, sports motorcycles, sports utility vehicles, specialty vehicles, that will make you a lot of money, because I've seen a lot of money in those items. And if you pay attention to them, you'll be very happy. And your customer is going to be very happy too, And also, some of these off-road vehicles, that we didn't talk much about them, they can make you humongous money, okay, a lot of money. They can make a lot of money. So it's good to focus on that area too as a pawnbroker, because that's going to make you rich, okay? Do it right, do your paperwork, make sure people get the fair market value for those things, and leave a lot of room for yourself, because everybody has to be happy. So these cars, I mean, that's one of my area, and I've seen so many cars. I bought and sold so many cars, took them to the auctions and all those good things, and surprisingly, some of the cars, they will just kind of surprise you, and you'll be amazed how much value there is in these antique cars. Down to number 4, countdown number 4. And number 4, I categorized it, newest electronics. And this field is so darn big that it's just hard to cover. There's so many electronics, okay? Let's talk the main ones like iPads and Galaxy tablets, cell phones, phones, like different name brands and all that, all kind of phones. Your laptops, Apple laptops, Samsung laptops, Google laptops, some of the Chromebooks, they make good money. Then there's a line of other things, those newer headphones and Apple headphones, Dr. Dre's headphones, they make good money. And electronics, you just want to make sure as a pawnbroker that you stay with the newest electronics, okay? Because some of the older electronics, these companies move them so fast, and as soon as you buy them, in 3 months they will have some new one coming out. So you must pay attention to it, because you can dump a lot of money in this area and then be sorry about that, and you might not be able to sell them fast enough. So electronics, there's a great money. Those are hot sellers, but while they're hot, okay, while people want them, you want to sell them at that time, and that can make you good money. Okay, you can be happy, smiling. It can make you good money. But again, electronics is kind of like if you're not experienced or if you don't know your electronics, that can be a bad thing for you. So you might want to educate yourself in a great way and keep up with the line of products, line of these companies, coming up with new products. You have to. Other than that, it's going to be hard. But that's a great money maker, okay? Electronics, everybody wants it, okay? If you got what people want, then you can make a lot of money in this one too. Okay? Number three on my list is construction machinery. What I mean by that is your bobcats, commercial pressure washers, ditch witches, all those big trailers, dump trucks, dump trailers, commercial lawnmowers, zero-turn lawnmowers, commercial weed eaters, commercial everything that goes in the construction, lawn care, maintenance, all this stuff. I put it number 4. Yes, actually number 3. It's number 3. So all these items, and one thing I can tell you is there's a dealing part of these things too. If you buying and selling these items, you're going to have ability to really deal with them. You're going to have a place where you can keep them too, and in due times when you're selling them, you want to accommodate people's purchases, where you can just really easily complete the sales and pocket some good money. Okay, so as a pawnbroker, you're going to have to really pay attention to that area too, because we're talking about expensive machinery, okay, and that also includes the paperwork, okay, the titles, the serial numbers, ownerships. You have to check all that in order to really get a fair and clear money, because you don't want to buy anything stolen, you don't want to buy anything questionable, you don't want to buy anything with no title just because it's cheap. That's not the case. Not all the money is a good money, but the good money is only one that is legal money, and you've done your due diligence, and now you're ready to reap your rewards. So as a pawnbroker, you have a great potential in this area. Please pay attention to that. Down to number 2. And number 2 on my list is great outdoors. All the boats, all the motorcycles, all the four-wheelers, all these golf carts and go-karts and chuck wagons, all these outdoors, dirt bikes, they make you good money. And we make good money whenever we have them. So this area is on my number 2 list. Why I put it in number 2 list? Because this is something that everybody wants, okay? I've never had any motorcycle that gave me any trouble to sell it. As soon as it became available for selling, trust me, it just went fast and it left you smiling, okay? Same thing with the dirt bikes and some of the motorcycle off-roads, even some of the expensive bicycles, Fishers and Trek bicycles and H2 bicycles, all these commercial type bicycles, they make you great money. So it's good to pay attention to that area as a pawnbroker. And again, just make sure when you buy and sell these things, you have the proper documentation about everything. If somebody doesn't have the right ownership, please don't buy them, because you're going to get stuck with that. You can't spend that kind of money and not being able to get out of it and be stuck with it, and it can be some legal complications with those items too, because all these items, they have the VIN numbers and serial numbers. Make sure you do the diligence, because after all, that's your pawn shop, like we do in our pawn shops. We do a great deal of a job on ownerships, titles. We have special person that deals with that, where they can check the titles, check the serial numbers. If we have to talk to the county, and if we have any doubts, we can talk to them too, because We just want to make sure that everything we have and own and buy and sell is free and clear. That's important to understand that. And that's where we make a lot of money in pawn business. That's a great area to be. Down to number one. Number one, you can probably guess it, okay? Can you guess it and see what that is? You know it. You might have said it. But number one is gold, jewelry, necklaces, bracelets, scrap gold, all calibers of gold, all carat type of, all condition and, shapes and sizes of gold. Gold is something, even in down times, we make good money on them, and we pay good money on the gold too. It's either way, buying and selling gold is so easy, and customers are happy too, they can get their money. And there's no lies about that, there's a rate that we work out based on 10 karat gold or 14 karat gold, 18, 24 karat, or silver coins, All that makes good money for people, and in that process, we save a couple dollars that we call it profit, okay? After all, everybody's got to be happy. I keep saying that. I probably said it more than I should, but everybody should be happy, including yourself, because you're the one, you have the responsibility to make money in pawn business. You have to. And you got to make good money because you got employees, you got bills, you got lights, you have rents, leases, licensing, all these expensive, And then on top of that, you should be able to live a decent life. So I think, gold is on number one my list, and it stays like that, and it will remain like that, and maybe through this year. Right now gold is kind of down, but I think next year I'm going to see incline, and then it's going to be even more money in my customer's pocket, and hoping that some of that money that I will make, it'll make me happy too, because we're going to invest a lot of money in gold buying, and people are going to get great money for their gold. So in the meantime, it's my invitation for my customers too, if you got some gold that you want to sell, this is a good time, come get it. And you don't have to sell it, you can pawn it. Either way, it makes you the money. So just keep in mind, and if you're a pawnbroker, focus on that area a lot, because it's easy to get out of gold compared to everything else, Gold you can buy and sell very quickly, okay, at any time. There's no downtown from that, Selling, there's buyers all the time and they'll buy it from you. But other items, you might have to strategize it, and you might have to really wait for it before you can sell them. So number one is the gold. Away from all this, I think I can briefly talk about the guns too. You can make a lot of money in the gun business too, but that's a whole different level of things, okay? Again, there's a great level of legalities and great level of understanding, and your legal knowledge has to be in place, okay? Because it remains your responsibility as a pawnbroker that you educate yourself to a greatest level where you don't make no slips and no mistakes. Then you can make a lot of money from gun sales and purchases and all those things, In some of our stores we do guns, but in few stores we don't do guns. So I know the both sides of that. You can make a lot of money doing that. But again, if you're a pawnbroker and you plan to buy and sell guns, I will say, make sure your licensing is up to date. Make sure you have a secure area for your guns. Make sure your counters are fine. Make sure your people are trained. Make sure you do the background checks. All those things matter, okay? And people that don't pay attention to that, they get in trouble, I know a lot of pawnbrokers in federal jails just because they didn't pay attention to it. They thought it was just a jumbo, but that's not the case. Thanks for watching Payday Pawn Vlogs. Keep being the part of it. Please be the active part. Please like, subscribe, and comment and share. And be happy, okay, wherever you are. Make plenty of money, stay happy, and if you ever need help to get some money, you know where we at. Our name is Payday Pawn, and you're welcome to see our store in McDonough, Georgia, and we'll be glad to be on your service. Till next time, okay, you take care of yourself, your family, you pawnbrokers out there, you people that are thinking to be pawnbrokers and opening a pawn shop and thinking about opening a pawn shop, much more happiness coming your way, much more joy, and everything else is coming your way, okay? So keep being the part of Payday Pawn Vlogs. Thank you, and we'll be in touch again. See you next.